Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Footy Plus, powered by the Adelaide Crows. Today we're here at the home of the Adelaide Bite in West Beach to bring you another episode of all things South Australian sport. Right. Coming up on this episode, meet the state's most promising baseball prodigy.
He's a very gifted athlete. His work ethic is really strong.
And a couple of Crows veterans reach new heights.
So you can give a thumbs up, hands up, whatever you really like.
Wayne Milera has become one of Adelaide's most valuable and versatile players this season. Relishing the challenge of a shift from attack to defence, he's overcome the disappointment of missing out on last year's finals to now nailing down a regular place in the Crows lineup. Thanks to Harcourts, we take a trip back in time with Wayne to where his career all began, the Central Districts Football Club.
Back to where it all began for Wayne Milera with the man that made it all possible, Central District Player Development Manager Scott Stevens.
He's a ripping bloke, and he's helped me a lot during my journey here at Central Districts, and helped me grow as a person.
Stevens played 156 games as a midfielder for Central in the 1990s, becoming friends with Milera's father, Wayne Sr, who was playing for the Bulldogs reserves. When Wayne Sr asked Stevens if his young son could try out with the Bulldogs junior squads, he was happy to oblige.
I said, yeah, bring him out, and from the first training session you could see that he just had something special as far as his skills, his understanding of where to run and what to do.
Yeah, I sort of come out and tried out in the 13s and stayed here since, all the way up to I was picked up.
He went from being a really quiet he was really quiet and sort of a little bit introverted, to a young man that really came out of his shell as he matured.
Milera progressed quickly through SANFL ranks after making his league debut in 2015 and impressing in Central's finals campaign. The Crows chose him with their first pick of the draft, much to Wayne Sr.'s delight.
It was always a dream of Dad's to play AFL footy, but didn't quite make it. But yeah, I guess to see his son grow up and be drafted, it's a dream not only for me, it's probably a dream for him as well.
Milera lost his place in the Crows lineup for last year's final series.
It was quite disappointing I wasn't able to play in the final series, but it was something I sort of used as motivation over my off-season.
And a shift from attack to defence this season transformed the 20-year-old into one of Adelaide's most valuable players.
The move back to half-back has been good for me. It's sort of helped me get a different perspective on the game. I hadn't played a lot of footy there, so it's good to go back there and learn off other blokes.
Milera is appreciative of the guidance he's received through the early stages of his life, and he's eyeing a post-football career doing the same for other young people. He's studying to be a teacher and already mentoring a young Indigenous player at Central. Like
many teachers that I've had, they've been able to teach me from a young age and see me grow, and I'm sure they're pretty proud of what they've been able to do, have an impact on my life. So it's something I want to sort of install in kids as well. So yeah, that's something I look forward to doing.
Milera is contracted to the Crows until the end of 2020.
And now to the rapid rise of Adelaide's teenage baseball sensation, Curtis Mead. The Adelaide Bite Academy product was signed by major baseball league club, the Philadelphia Phillies, earlier this year in a big money deal that will make him the highest paid South Australian baseballer to ever play in the US. It's an amazing accomplishment. Proud father Tim was once a baseball star in his own right, and as FOOTYplus discovered, he's been there with Curtis every step of the way.
Remember Curtis, hands about ear height. Nice shot.
For 17-year-old Curtis Mead, life is about to become one endless summer of baseball.
Every summer I'll be playing with the Adelaide Bite here in Adelaide. From March I'll leave and train with the Phillies in Florida, and then start the season about probably in July, and then that finishes up in September, and then I head back here to start the season again. Such
is life for one of Australian baseball's hottest properties, who burst onto the scene as the Adelaide Bite's Rookie of the Year last season and was snapped up by the Phillies after impressing in an Australian prospects program.
He's a very gifted athlete. His work ethic is really strong.
Father Tim was an original Adelaide giant. with a sublime swing that seems to have been passed on.
Pivot hard on the swing, Curdy. Attaboy.
I actually saw him play once. He was playing in a Masters game with lots of old Adelaide Giants players he played with. And he tore his hamstring first time he was playing running up the first baseline, so that's the only time I saw him.
My vivid memories of Curtis from sort of 4 to 5 years onwards, it was always we'd go down the football ground, we'd go down the baseball ground, so he's always, any spare time, he's always got either bat and ball or a footy in his hand.
In fact, football was Curtis's first love, but after showing genuine promise in junior leagues, he quit to concentrate on baseball.
Did I push him? No, I went AFL, but because he was really early on a really good football player. So I was kind of more keen on football, but as the years went on, I quickly realised that his passion for baseball was getting stronger.
If Curtis is feeling the pressure of being South Australia's highest paid US baseballer, who's tipped to reach the major leagues, he's not showing it.
Yeah, well, I think that's funny. There's more pressure on myself and my wife. I felt it through the whole, signing period, but he seems to just, he just takes that in his stride. So I don't see him, enduring any sort of pressure. He's just happy to play baseball, I think.
Money's obviously a part of it, but it wasn't a big deal to me, obviously. It's more about where I'd be going and what I'd be doing. Well, obviously I hope to make to the big leagues, but there's a lot of work to be done before there. So yeah, hopefully in 10 years' time, hopefully I'm still playing in the big leagues over there and enjoying myself.
If you're in the market for a new car, check out this offer. Our major partner Toyota are offering All Crows members a $500 accessory voucher when you buy a new Toyota vehicle. Visit any Toyota dealer with your Crows membership card to claim this fantastic offer. Asian apprentice jockeys have had a huge impact on South Australian racing in recent years. From the Poon Train to the Mower Man, they've become firm favourites with punters and trainers alike. It's a trend that shows no sign of slowing, so FOOTYplus decided to track down one of the latest batch of Asian stars to find out why they love coming to Adelaide so much.
From the dusty tracks of the outback...
But it's Humphrey for the Japanese apprentice Rusei Sakai. Oh, they've got a great combination going, this pair.
...to the plush surrounds of Morfettville.
Embassy Lil in front, near the line, Embassy Lil. He rode that perfectly, Sakai.
Japanese apprentice Yusei Sakai is making quite an impression on South Australian racing and his Adelaide boss, Ryan Balfour.
Yusei is very hard-working. I think one of the biggest things I noticed about him is his professionalism is second to none. He could tell you each runner, his horse, the last 10 runs where they've been, trains hard, and I think he's going to go a long way.
I will do my best to get more win Ryan horses, and I also want to improve my English skill and riding skill, improve my ability.
21-year-old Sakai is one of the latest in a long line of Asian apprentices who in the past 4 years have chosen to further their careers with riding stints in South Australia. From the colt figure Matthew Poon...
Brett Newey's lifting for the Poon Train. Well, Matty Poon, he can just about do anything.
...to the Mower Man, Victor Wong.
Wong back to Hong Kong tomorrow, and he goes home a winner.
And many, many more, they've captured the hearts and minds of racing fans.
I think they're received really well by the punters. If I sit out there in the last race and there's been a few people having the beers, they enjoyed getting on the Poon Train or the Victor Wong. Now it's Kenny Lau or Yusei Sakai. Just adds a bit of humour and a bit of a different friendship and aspect to the racing here in this state compared to others.
They come here for opportunity to build experience, improve their English and be exposed to a different style of racing.
Very different racing style. So in Japan, pace is very fast, but in Australia, pace is slow and very tight racing.
We ride very tactical on a big range of tracks, and we take him out of his comfort zone and make him hopefully become one of the best riders in Japan in time to come.
Sakai will take another giant step in his development when he pilots Sole Impact in this year's Caulfield Cup.
It's very excited because I will be my first Group 1 ride
from what I've learned, it's just the loyalty of the Japanese owners who do like to give opportunities to some of these Japanese kids, and knowing that he was over here, he'll be able to go to Melbourne, work the horse and be able to get a bond with it before race day, I think was a really key moment. They're obviously watching the way he rides as well. He's got a nice technique, he sits low. Ryan Balfour's giving him plenty of opportunities.
Soon he might even get a nickname.
Bupa is a proud partner of the Adelaide Crows, and they have a special offer on selected health insurance products for Crows fans. Join Bupa on selected health cover and get 6 weeks free. Plus, they'll waive the 2 and 6 month waiting periods on extras. The offer is for a limited time. Terms and conditions apply. Call Bupa on 134 135 to find out more. Adelaide Oval is without a doubt one of the best stadiums in Australia, if not the world. Its unique combination of old and new, vintage and modern helps create an electric atmosphere. One of the best ways to appreciate it is the famous Adelaide Oval roof climb. So we've asked a couple of Crows veterans, Richard Douglas and David Mackay, to take an alternative look at their home ground thanks to Revolution Roofing. See what we've done there, eh? Roof company on the roof climb, real good.
On a cold and blustery Adelaide day, intrepid explorers David Mackay and Richard Douglas take a walk on the wild side, confronting their fear of heights to enjoy a view like no other.
So they get to experience a lot, really, from a different perspective. Yeah, up on the roof, all the way along the western side, up into the riverbank stand, and then get to, I suppose, learn a little bit more about the history of the Oval.
Accompanied by some courageous Crows members.
A few daredevils in our group, I think.
D-Mac and Dougie take in the stunning 360-degree views from one of the world's most iconic stadiums. It's an exhilarating experience.
Probably not something that I would have thought of doing, but I'm really glad that I was able to do it. Yeah, so some great views, obviously the ground of the city, and learn a bit more about the ground that we play on every second week. So it was you know, a really good experience.
A lot of the people who come here have a passionate connection to Adelaide Oval, so it's a lot of locals wanting to do it, something a bit different.
And no Adelaide roof climb is complete without the notorious lean out, 50 metres above the southern goal square.
So you can give a thumbs up, hands up, whatever you really like. Just remember, keep your feet nice and flat.
To be honest, I was absolutely crapping myself, but when I got up there, I thought, oh, there's no chance I'm going to do this. Pretty terrifying, but no, I'm glad I did it.
And Dougie didn't look quite as comfortable as he does on the football field.
Dougie, you know, he was holding onto the rope pretty tight, but no, look, I don't blame him. It was pretty high up there, obviously, and you're hanging right out over there.
So from start to finish, about 2 hours. So from saying hi to saying bye, 2 hours. So you're roughly on the roof for about an hour, maybe just over.
Each week on FOOTYplus, we take a look at something that caught our eye on social media. And it's hard to go past the Crows' nail-biting victory in Showdown 45, which caused much debate amongst the footy faithful. There have only been 4 showdowns in history that have been won by less than a goal, including Showdown 44 back in round 8. Stephen Motlop kicked the match winner for Port Adelaide with just 21 seconds to go in the final term. Adelaide claimed the trophy by 3 points back in 2015, following the tragic passing of coach Phil Walsh. And who could forget the last showdown held at Footy Park, which saw Angus Montfries score a lucky bounce from outside 50. And Chad Wingard's goal with 28 seconds left in the match to seal the win.
Haven't seen anything like that. It's gone at right angles.
Make sure you keep up to date on all the latest Crows news and behind-the-scenes action on afc.com.au, as well as Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Well, we hope you've enjoyed the show. A massive thank you to the Adelaide Bite for having us here at their training base. That's also it for us in 2018. Thank you very much for watching, and if you've missed any episodes, catch up on 7plus. Until next time, bye for now. That's a homer. Catcha!